All right. Let's see if this video format will be any better than the spam pictures and the long paragraphs that I post. All right. So Tanner requested Pltr, Tdoc, Ctxr, and then Champ wanted Ethereum. So let's go to Pltr first. All right. So for Pltr, y'all know I went long around the $22 area. I was super bullish on this just due to the long-term scale on this stock. If we are talking larger degree waves, that first rally up to the 44 area was a larger degree wave 1. It's set in this larger degree wave 2 at the 17 level. So now I'm thinking we're starting this huge wave 3, which is it's considered the most powerful wave in Elliott wave theory. So let's look at it on the daily frame here. All right. So right now we broke out of a wedge. Usually after a correction, we start a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave sequence. So let me bring up. No, that's not it. Bring up a wave sequence so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so we're starting wave 1 here, right? This was wave 1. We went from $17 to $27. We're starting our correction now, which will be our wave 2 target. I have this going. I think I'm having the area value that you kind of that I'm thinking about adding more shares is this 21.04 level. That's the golden fib ratio. That's the retracement level that typical waves retrace to on off of a wave. So I think personally in my game plan is to buy. We'll see what price action does on this 21.04 level, and then so the wave 3 is the extension of wave 1, which is the 1.618 extension, which I got here, which is 33.95. I think we'll pull back, somewhere around here, this area. It can't go past the wave 1 high of 27.49, so we'll say like right here. And then I think the wave 5, wave 5 is usually the same length as wave 1. So this is kind of the structure that we're going to be looking at on Pltr, on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will ultimately end up being a larger wave degree 3. So another thing you can look at if you don't want to look at wave structure is a certain pattern that's really bullish on with most traders is called the inverse head and shoulders. Let me see if I can find like a brush here. So we have a head here. We have a shoulder there, head, head, and then 21 being another, I don't know why it keeps doing that, another shoulder, and usually an inverse head and shoulders is very bullish. You can tell that these shoulders, come on, I don't know why this is doing this. Stop. Okay. You can tell these shoulders are using that 21 level as a support too. So look at this red line right here. This one that I just highlighted thick. There's one level it bounced off of, another one right here, another one right here, another one right here. So this is obviously a point of value for PLTR. So that's why I think PLTR is gonna be bouncing off that level, just because it's used it as support so many times, and it's using it as a shoulder for the inverse head and shoulders. So what I think is going to happen is the stock might bounce off this 0.5 level. I think it's probably going to bounce up a little bit because it's super oversold right now, probably on the lower time frames. Yeah, super oversold. So it's going to get bounced. People are probably going to buy the bounce, and but then they're going to sell. Market makers are going to sell that bounce, and I think it's going to go lower to 21, and we'll see a clear ABC correction. So I think this is the A, this little low, or whatever low it makes this week will be the A. It'll bounce up, it'll be a B, and then drop down to 21C, and then we'll be off to the races to our wave 3 target, 33.95. You also have a gap at 31.25. As we know, stocks love to fill gaps. If there's gaps in a chart, price action loves to fill those. So we have that one at 31.25. I mean, there's just a lot of signs that show that this thing's going higher. All right, so that's PLTR. Let me look at, okay, next is Tdoc. Tdoc, I tried to chart this a little earlier before talking about it, but first thing that came to mind was the 200-day. As a trader, a lot of people don't typically buy under the 200-day. That's like the know-all, be-all moving average. Usually, typically, if Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, any of the FANG stocks, Facebook, if they are at the 200-day, like people are buying it. So, this crossed the 200-day back in March. So what I got here, right now, it looks like it's trying to recover. We have a trend line that it's bouncing off of every time it hits it. So right now we have, let me get the brush out. We have the first leg, A, and then we have an A, B, C, D, and then you can't see the last letter, but it's an E. That's a wave formation that traders use. It's bearish. It counts a B wave or a C or typical B wave. So if there's all sorts of different types of like correction waves, and but this one's an A, B, C, D, E being the B of this wave, and then we have our last leg down, C. So we have our ABC correction, which I think Tdoc like went parabolic last year in 2020. So the pullback was definitely warranted. I mean, let's see. Yeah, it went from crash in March. Crash in March. Let's just say here to here. I mean, 159%. Yeah, 159% in 333 days. So it had a good run, and now it's been correcting since, was that February? So it's been digesting the price, still below the 200-day. It's kind of hard to, be a buyer if it's below the 200-day, but this is what I got right now. ABC correction. And now we're having our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure like I was talking about in Pltr. It's pretty clear. If you bring out the fibs, let's see. Let's look at the fibs. If you bring it to the wave 1, so wave 1 extension 1.618 is usually the target for wave 3, technical target at 172. Where's the horizontal line? Let's see how accurate this thing is. Yeah, so right there. Tdoc went up for wave 3 went up to 172.67 ish, and then it retraced back down to wave 4, and now I think it's about to start it's a break of this huge downtrend line that it's formed. But it's good that we're seeing this type of wave structure. It's clear, it's concise, so that's a good sign for Tdoc. Let me look at the fib retracement for this wave 3. So wave 3, start wave 2, boom. So let's see, we have, it bounced right off the golden fib, 0.618, and it's, that's a perfect retracement level. And let me bring out the horizontal line again. And yeah, right at wave 1. So it didn't, so I'm expecting another wave higher on Tdoc. How do I delete this? Okay. Delete. Trend line. Let's see. If I had to guess what wave 5 is, usually the length of wave 1. So wave 1, place of the wave 4 low. Oh my God. This is kind of hard to do on an iPad, but you get the gist. Yeah, I can see it at 180-ish. That was good that it bounced off that 0.168 with conviction today. So we should start to see maybe a move higher. Depends. Hopefully the markets are kind to it. But after this wave 5, I could see it retracing back down and retesting this breakout. So it could we got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we could have like a little retest of this breakout, and then if there's buyers here, we could start another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up higher, and maybe test that 200-day line. So yeah, just gotta be careful when I'm doing Tdoc right now, because it's iffy. but that's my analysis on that. Keep doing that. Let's go to Ctxr. All right, Ctxr, not looking too hot. I read some news today. Let's see if I can pull it up. Which I figured this was the way the price action was going, and it was not making any sense to any of my wave 3 targets or wave 5. When I was charting out, 3 weeks ago, that I was going to guess a pump and dump, but let's see. Yeah, so we got a article here, and it said that this LLC is investigating potential claims on behalf of purchasers of Ctxr. Investors who purchase Ctxr shares are encouraged to obtain additional information and assist the investigation so basically people are under investigation for pumping and dumping the stock, and that's exactly what it did. Even though it got good news on trial 3, and they're saying that some of the articles that came out about Ctxr was painted more in a positive view than it should have been, which could also lead to insider trading within certain sources. So that news hit, and you see what happened to the stock. It's so hard to kind of chart this type of stock because it's so volatile and so weird. You really just got to go, and plus being a pharmaceutical company, biotech, like you basically just got to follow the phases and the FDA phases, and it's trials, and you got to kind of believe in it. So, but I mean, the CEO put so much money of his own into the stock. He believes in it. I took profit at 23. Usually in a trade, I'm looking for 15-20%. This gave us over 100%. I just used rules of reversal candles. So this, usually on gap ups, that's like a typical signal for a sell-off waiting to happen. This thing had been, going 20% every day. So I just let some of my runners ride. It gapped up to like the 450 or something. I put a stop loss at the close of the gap, and I was kind of saved by the bell on that one because it's tanked down to 223, high volume on this drop. So if it can bottom and start to gain momentum, we've had a couple of gaps that still need to be filled. So you got the this gap that needs to be filled. Looks like there's another gap here that needs to be filled. So, like I said earlier, price action loves to fill gaps. So maybe it can catch a bid up here, the 326 level, and then 371. Maybe news will come out of FDA approval, because that's been the overwhelming hype about the stock since we got in January, February. But I had over 100% gain on it, so I was more than happy to take the profits. And like they say in trading, there's going to be 100 other trades too that are out there. So, no one's ever gone broke taking a profit. But I don't know. For this guidance on this stock, I would just. I mean, it looks like it's trying to flag here. Let's look at the 1 hour. I mean, it's making higher lows, lower highs. Let's see. It could be making a little bit of a wedge here. Breakout, maybe fill this gap. Consolidate again, fill another gap, consolidate. That's what you want. You want these flags, and you want them to break to the upside. So if I was a Ctx holder, I would, I don't know, it's a tough situation. I feel like it's gone down as much as it could go down already, but you never know with these weird biotech stocks. So it's flagging right now. It's making a pennant. You just it has to break to the upside for it to move up. But I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep you updated if I see anything interesting price action wise. But all right, and then we got one more thing, Ethereum. Oh, Ethereum. So right now it's in a rising wedge. It's hard to take any of these moves seriously. It going up or down or breaking this wedge because of one thing and one thing only. Volume. I mean, look at the volume. There's no volume at all. So any move to the upside or downside, you've got to take with caution. But I still am bullish on Ethereum. I think this move down is good. I mean, we've gone from the low right here up to here. I mean, we've gone 40% up from that low. And I mean, yeah, I think we're gonna break this. Well, we have broken this wedge, so we'll get a move down here. We kind of need this stock RSI right here to reset for it to move higher. We need this to go down. But on a weekly scale, this thing's still looking good. I mean, look at it. MFI is approaching oversold. Stock RSI the oscillators is crossing. I'm gonna take this ascending triangle away. This level right here was the 0.618 level that I've been mentioning, the retracement level. That's key. It's bounced off it twice, a double bottom. And I think that with the Ethereum updates of EIP 1559, which basically makes Ethereum a deflationary crypto, I think that's launching in late July or early August. We should continue to see a rise up to that point. Let's see. We've seen, so this retracement has been on descending volume, which is good. I mean, the weekly chart looks amazing, to be honest. I mean, even if we got if we went lower, which I don't think we will, because we have a double bottom right here, which is a bullish formation on candles. I mean, even if we went lower, we could be setting up for a inverse head and shoulders. That being the shoulder, this could be a head. This could be another head, and then we go up to whatever, but with what the Fed's doing right now, pouring money into the economy and pumping up, the SPY, the Qs. And this last melt up, I think we'll still see our target at, 6K Ethereum by the end of maybe October, middle of September. I mean, once crypto goes, it goes. So, and today the Dixie, which is the dollar, I've been keeping track with this. It actually filled a gap on the daily that it had. Like I was telling y'all, price action loves to fill gaps. Right here, that thing went all the way up here and it got rejected right here. So I expect it to the Dixie to go down. That'll be bullish for cryptos again. But Ethereum, I think my accumulation range was still 2,400 to 1,700. So I'm still accumulating in this range. I mean, you gotta think, you're investing into the future, you're investing into decentralized currencies, more banks, more countries, they're adopting it. I think Germany just came out like a week ago and they said some of their investing firms are putting 20% into Bitcoin. I mean, this thing ain't going away. So continue to be bullish on Ethereum. I think today it got rejected by the 50 on the moving average. Up, it got rejected by the 50 again, so we'll probably go down a little bit and then test it again. That's probably when once Ethereum closes over this 50 EMA, which is always a good starting point for people. People love to go into stocks or cryptos or whatever you're trading. They love to use the 50 days entry points and exit points. So I think after a close over the 50, we could see a bounce towards 3K. Let's see. If we do some fib retracements right now, this is me just kind of guessing, but let's see. So we could use this as a it's hard to see it, but this could be a wave one. It could retrace down to, actually I should have done the opposite way. Gosh. All right, let's just say this is a wave one. Actually, I did it wrong again. Dang it. There we go. All right. Let's say, all right, let's just say this is a wave one. And it retraces back to 1981, which is the golden fib ratio. That could be a wave two. And then we could set up an extension for it to be wave three. So the wave three level could be up to 2838. Then at that 2838 level, we could retrace down again to maybe we could retrace down back to 23, probably test the 50, and then it go back up to 3K. It's gonna go to 3K soon, I think. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. but I mean, it's going to take a lot of selling power in whales to drive this price down below the low right now. I mean, they've tried what? They've tried this time, and this time, and they've all failed. And I mean, on-chain data metrics, they've, the whales are continuously accumulating Ethereum. You can tell Ethereum is probably more stronger than Bitcoin right now, just because of the, when China banned miners, that hit the hash rate for Bitcoin miners like 60%, which is huge. Hash rate is huge with miners. It's how much you can mine Bitcoin. But it only affected Ethereum 20% rather than 60% like Bitcoin. So that just shows you how decentralized the miners are with Ethereum. So that means the miners for Ethereum are spread across the globe a lot more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin, all the miners mainly were in China. So when they banned mining in China, that took a huge hit for Bitcoin, and that was part of the reason why we saw that huge. I mean, obviously Elon Musk wasn't helping, but yes, I mean that's why we saw this correction. Someone knew about the FUD that was about to be bringing on to Bitcoin. So, but it's respecting that. It's respecting the trend line right now. But I mean, it's hard to do anything when the volume is so low right now. I mean, volume is nowhere to be found. So until volume picks up and it goes one way or another, it'll be hard to see where it's going. But it seems like price action is not showing its hand for a reason. And look at all the wicks at the bottom here. I mean, if it was the other way, it would be considered bearish, but I think this is bullish. Look at all these wicks. These are all whales buying huge amounts of Bitcoin. There's a reason why Elon Musk hasn't sold his position in Bitcoin yet for Tesla. He knows. So, but yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Let me know if you like this format better, or if you like the paragraph and pictures better, or if there's anything I can improve on or whatnot. I think that's all I got.